We
Shh.
I didn't have a podcast.
But we do. But we do. We shouldn't have a podcast. But we do. And you're listening to it.
Good job.
I remember the lyrics today.
You did. Good morning.
Good morning. How'd you sleep?
I slept good. I felt ready to get up this morning, which I was really, really happy about.
Okay.
Because I've been struggling with that, as we all know.
Yeah. A little bit. I feel like you were coming off a long week. So,
Yeah.
I mean.
But I slept
that
good.
happens.
I felt really productive yesterday, so I feel like that always makes the sleep deeper and better.
Exactly.
So I felt calm going to bed, other than the huge pile of hanging clothes on our bedroom floor.
Yeah. We'll get those taken care of. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I'm genuinely curious. Does it ever phase you when you see dirty clothes in the hamper or like clean clothes on the floor getting?
Yeah.
So, what's your plan of action for it?
Get it done.
Oh. I just didn't know. I didn't know if it was a male thing that like you just don't.
A male thing.
Yeah, okay, maybe not a male thing. Maybe just a personality thing. I don't know. Like, I didn't know if it's just a tick of mine or if other people actually feel a type of way about it or if they're just kind of like, it's whatever.
I didn't even know it was a tick of yours.
Yeah, like it.
What's the tick?
You know how I always tell you I feel lighter when stuff gets done like that?
Yeah.
It makes me just feel like
Do you feel lighter?
brain fog.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Like I feel lighter when the dishes get done.
Yeah.
It's like when I do the dishes and then the kitchen feels lighter. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I do know what you're talking about.
That was not a slight at you. I was just saying that specific like chore I always think about. All the other ones, like I'm kind of like,
I figure it's
you
like
can walk away from, like you can walk away from the kitchen, you can walk away from the living room. You have to sleep in your bedroom.
I just feel like there's so many moving parts throughout the day. Yeah, there's no good excuse for not getting it done, but at the same time, it's like sometimes I know when I first walked into when we bought this house, the actual like man hours it goes into keeping the house together. I'm sure anybody that owns a house probably feels this way, but it's like it is a full-time job. So
Seriously?
I mean, like the lawn, the everything. So yesterday, I'll be honest, the clothes were not on. Hanging up the clothes was not on the top of my priority list. Especially after I had washed the entire deck and scrubbed the entire deck, and then
baby, it was no like slight at you whatsoever.
I was saying more about yesterday when I did that, and then the
rain came right through.
thunderstorms rolled in.
That's our bad because we did not check the weather. But no, I love though the size of our room, but it is tricky because it leaves so much room to leave suitcases and pile things up. But when it's actually cleaned up, the space, it feels so good.
Yeah.
So, but the man hours thing is so true. Like, no wonder women stay home full time. Think about managing a house and kids.
Yeah. And it's intense.
Like I watched my mom do it, and my mom worked a lot. Like when my siblings were growing up, but when I was born, she went to full time at home and just doing office work. Not just doing office work, that's a lot of work, but doing office work for my dad's company. And I watched her have to manage the house, make sure it was, just clean and ready to go, and also take care of all of us, get us where we need to go. I mean, you and your mom as well. And back then, like, you see it happening, but you don't have the same appreciation. Like you just you come home and the house is clean. You know what I mean? You come home from school or whatever, and you just don't realize how much energy it took.
Yeah, it takes a lot of energy. So, well, you slept good. Everything was.
You don't like my cleaning house stories?
What? No, they're good. Do you remember when we were talking about I'm trying to get the whatchamacallit, the ball rolling.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're
I was
good.
getting the vacuum rolling.
I see the Dyson, which I carried all the way up the steps, And then
is it still up there? We need to use it for the bathroom.
I was just about to say, so I carried it all the way up the steps, and then as I was carrying something, the trash back down, for whatever reason I kept the Dyson in my hand because I did the upstairs, and then I walked back down and I put it back down here, so I have to carry it all the way back up again. But first world problems.
Anyway, so about you see, it doesn't feel good.
What's that?
It doesn't feel good.
What?
I said, so anyways, about the blah, 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 blah.
Oh, man. It's going to be one of them podcasts.
Happy Tuesday, you guys. Welcome back to another episode of We Shouldn't Have a Podcast. My name is Lacey Cavalier Carmichael.
I am Jackie Carmichael.
And we were just...
the dirtiest husband in America.
Oh, my gosh. Y'all, I'm going to be honest. Like, this morning, this is how slippery marriage can get. Like, slippery slopes. One, thing was said that one of us took as petty, and... now we're off to just like a petty start. And can we call it truths? Like, I know we just called it truths before we started the podcast, but I feel like it's not sticking. Can we call another truth?
I am perfectly fine.
Then no more getting the ball rolling while I'm telling a story.
I was just saying that we were talking about that, and I was saying we still hadn't even done the intro yet. Sorry, getting the ball rolling was a bad analogy.
Okay, so is this our truth?
Mm-hmm.
Can you just call it truths, dadgummit?
I said truce.
Okay.
All right.
Same days. Okay. I slept good. I'm up. We're dressed. You're in a Barcelona jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Looking good.
Thank you. I think I'm doing jerseys until I feel like the jersey thing's done. I'm just keep feeling like it's not done yet.
Well, by all means, we're not stopping you. We think you look great in a jersey.
Yeah.
But you were starting to read me a news article last night.
Mm-hmm. It's developed more since I told you. Yeah.
And you just read me the headline, and I said, stop there. Because you said originally you were just going to read it to me on the podcast, but you were so excited. You wanted to tell me. Then I stopped you. I only know the headline. I need to know more. I've been thinking about it all night. I've seen people post.
I have too.
Okay.
So
breaking news.
This is breaking news as of yesterday evening. So a tourist submarine diving to the Titanic wreck with 5 on board suddenly goes missing. And my fascination with this is that when I was in 4th grade, Titanic had just came out. I learned about what Titanic was, learned who Leonardo DiCaprio was for the first time. And they always used to talk about how it was so far down in the Atlantic Ocean. The wreckage. And obviously that it was so cold and all these people died. It was, obviously a really sad and tragic thing, but that you could only go down with a certain equipment. You could only go down, and typically they'd have like the movie, the boat comes, they drop the submarine down, they go look, and they come back up, they're looking for that blue sapphire. What? They
go down, they're looking for that blue sapphire.
They're looking for a blue sapphire. But I am now perplexed that like something like this could happen in 2023. It just doesn't seem real. And there was a British billionaire on board, the British researcher that was on board with the 4 other people going, and tickets were $250,000.
Stop.
Yeah. And somebody said, $250,000 I paid for a ticket to go on a Titanic submarine, I better go missing too. Somebody said. It's kind of messed up, but
that's funny.
So
sorry, it took me a second because I was like, why would you want? Yeah, okay, yeah, sorry, no, over my head. I'm back. That guy's funny.
And so this is
give me the deets.
Yep. So I'm gonna give you the deets real quick. It says, in a concerning turn of events, a tourist submarine exploring the wreckage of the Titanic in the Atlantic Ocean has gone missing. It says on board were 5 individuals, including the notable British billionaire Hamish Harding. Operated by Ocean Gate Expeditions, the submarine lost communication with the mothership shortly after launching, leading to suspicions that it may be stuck in the wreckage of the iconic Titanic. That's great. That's insane. It says the U.S. Coast Guard has initiated a search operation, but the challenging conditions of the remote location and debris in the area are making the search difficult. It says expedition had a significant purpose to document the deterioration of the Titanic, which has been slowly succumbing to metal-eating bacteria since its discovery in 1985. It says the missing tourist.
Oh my gosh, so that bacteria could eat away at the submarine.
Yep. Well, I mean, but it said since 1985 though. So I mean it's
been eating away at the wreckage.
Yeah, but so it can't. I mean, it would eat away at the submarine eventually, but
Okay.
It might take a little time.
Okay,
I think metal eating bacteria is a little slow.
Other thought.
Yes.
Or do you want me to give all my thoughts at the end?
I would love for you to get all your thoughts at the end because
great, I can do that.
I think that I know where your
brain's
brain's going.
Compromising, love, marriage, love you.
So it says, with the UK billionaire Hamish Harding among passengers, the disappearance has sparked concerns and urgency in search efforts. Ocean Gate Expeditions has confirmed that the search operation is currently underway. And then I got the U.S. Coast Guard has described the search as challenging due to remote location, blah, blah, blah. It says, which is approximately 900 miles east of Cape Cod. The Titan lost contact with the research vessel during a dive on Sunday morning. It is vital to note that the Titanic sank in 1912 and lies an astonishing 3,800 meters underwater. As each day passes, concerns for safety as well-being for those on board. The crew has approximately 4 days worth of oxygen left, making time of the essence in rescue. So multiple entities, including government agencies, deep sea firms, are collaborating. How in the world do you lose contact
Jackie,
with
what do you
submarine?
think?
No, go for it.
No, seriously.
What's that?
What do you think?
I mean, I just want to. I've thought about it.
Yeah, first I want to hear all of your expressions over the topic, and then I want to ask you what you think happened.
That's what I was gonna do for you.
Shut the front door. Look at us. We're back in rhythm, babe. We're finding it.
So it's 2023. How can you not locate probably a 3-ton submarine? That's first. This reminds me of the Malaysia. I mean, this will probably be a Netflix documentary now, but the Malaysia Airlines, like this is what that reminds me of, like instantly. Mm-hmm. Very scary to. I can't imagine being 3,000 meters underwater, trapped in a submarine with 4 other people. That sounds insane.
Oh my gosh.
I honestly, my brain goes to a couple crazy places, but I'm like, maybe somebody had a death wish. Maybe they wanted to die down there at the Titanic. Maybe someone tried to take over the controls and, they.
Oh, wow. I didn't even think about that.
Like my whole thing is like how many Ocean Gate, like how much money the people, the expertise, someone spent $250,000. Typically, if you spend a lot of money on something, you expect the highest level of care.
Or you're passionate about it.
Or you're
like I could see that being like someone's, like you said, the death wish thing.
Yeah, but I'm saying the people that open or operate the company, like who did you hire and bring in? It just seems like when you read things, I think that you get a sense of being like, that's weird. Like, I think that there's more to the story.
Yeah, this is a luxury expedition. This isn't some random like tourist thing. Like you can't even get access to this without experts.
I didn't even know you could go to the Titanic still. Like I didn't even know that was a possibility. And so I'm just like, things like this make me be like, oh, you can go to space for $2,000 or $200,000 or whatever. It's like, no, because so then I'm be lost in space. I'd rather be lost in the ocean, lost in space. Anyways, but
oh my gosh, no, I think other.
You'd rather be lost in space?
No,
hey, I'll get back to you.
I don't know. Both are so bad, but I always just think about how they said our ocean is way more undiscovered than space. And like they've only they said like one, I don't know, I want to say like
very
1/6
low percentage
of or lower than that, I don't know. of the ocean we actually know about versus space.
So they ran into Loch Ness monster.
No, I'm not kidding. I'm waiting patiently for you to ask me what I think. So what do you think happened? Genuinely, if you had to pick one theory, what do you think happened?
I got two theories. One, a rudder or a motor or whatever got caught or like stalled out, and it like hit a piece of metal or a piece of debris. Like so in it, I think that I've seen enough like movies where maybe it got flipped up on its side or got turned over and it's like stuck somewhere. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah.
Or there was some sort of I want to say monster, but like animal or creature down there lurking, and it got a hold of it. Mm-hmm. And it's gone. Because it doesn't make sense that the sensor would stop working, because it feels like if they've done it so many times, maybe the power, I don't know. Let me hear what are your thoughts?
Okay, first things first, which I'm like very, very into those theories, by the way.
Okay. First
things first, why does it say the U.S. sent a search
Because it
party?
It was in U.S. waters.
Okay, but
it's 900 miles off Cape Cod.
Okay, but what about the British search party? Because isn't it a British?
I think ocean
submarine.
I don't believe so. I think just the British guy is on board. So I think he flew over.
I'm surprised his family didn't send private search parties.
And I think where they met, I think that if I had to guess, the $250,000 ticket probably included airfare, because I think that if I had to guess, because
he probably flew private.
Well, I'm saying I think that there's an island or something out there, because it's in off 900 miles off Cape Cod, so it's in the Atlantic Ocean somewhere. So I think maybe they flew out there. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that I was curious about, but that makes sense. Okay,
but I think they obviously are helping. The British are.
The British.
Okay,
so we're searching. Okay. Mm-hmm. My first thought when hearing it, because like I said, how undiscovered the ocean is, was creature.
Really?
Yeah. I'm
like a giant squid?
Stop. Like a creature we've never seen, heard of, whatever. That's been living either in the wreckage, something, I don't know, around, I don't know, but I thought creature. Then when you started talking about how much it cost and who was on board, all of that stuff, now I'm like,
sabotage.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like, did they have him sign something before he went? Like, what moving parts went on in the? So that's my second thing, is like maybe someone is after the billionaire's money. I don't know how that all works, but anytime that someone with a lot of money goes missing or passes away, I just sometimes I'm like, no, I would say 80% of the time have the thought of who did this to them. Mm-hmm. And I have my theories just with, Princess Diana and everything. I don't know how well-to-do this guy is in the British community and things like that. Like, I think of it in the sense of like, well, they've done it before.
Well, and the thing is,
not me blaming the royal family. That's not me. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, I feel like they're very hush hush and they just like take care of things, and that's what this could be. Like, oh, we're just gonna take care of the situation. That's horrible. But
if he's in with the royal family,
I'm not blaming the royal family. No. I'm saying it could be anyone, but
so
you'd have
did you notice that they said that there was? So they said him.
I don't know.
They said it was him, and then but notice they didn't mention the 4 other people. That's what I'm paying attention to.
Oh yeah.
They only said him.
So that was just my second theory.
Okay.
So third theory, I really liked the Titanic crazed fan thought that you had, because I could totally see that, but maybe that's just my brain taking over thinking it's a movie. That would be a crazy movie, but like one of the other passengers or the person leading the ship being like, we're gonna spend eternity with the Titanic.
There's no way I couldn't go out like that. Like that is I'll tell you what. There's a movie scenes working in my
I know.
head right now.
I see it all. I see it all.
There's movie scenes working in my head where I'm just like, they get down. They're like scanning. You know, you've seen the submarines underwater.
Chills.
They're scanning, and then the lights. You know, everything's black, and then the water, it's a blue. Things are blowing by, and Buddy just loses his mind. He just starts going. He's just like, oh, that's where whatchamacallit was, and that's where the thing was, and that's where whatchamacallit passed away, and
oh gosh,
grabs a hold of the controls.
It's exactly. It is so heartbreaking. Like, it's so easy for us to just sit here on our couch in the comfort of our home and discuss this. I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine the fear and terror and just.
I want to know who the other four people on board were and why it was only worth. I mean, maybe because this guy's a billionaire, so that's why it's, I guess, worth mentioning.
Fishier.
Yeah, it's mentioned. Yeah,
no
fishier.
pun intended.
Yeah, dang.
Yeah,
Dang.
I feel like they just. I do feel like they mention those sorts of things, like, because typically
To
people
grab
with a
the
lot
audience.
of money or people that have fame or things like that, they have a lot of people watching them. A lot of people that would be interested in taking what they have. You know what I mean? But they should mention the other four on board. Surely somewhere they did.
You would think so. So right now they're reporting that they have 70 hours of air left.
Oh my gosh, 70?
I mean, I can't even. I thought so. And maybe I guess no. I guess that doesn't make sense. But
if they are still alive.
Oh, there's no way, man.
But there is a way. They could just be sitting there watching the hours tick by, just praying that someone will rescue them.
I'm not saying that they're not. I'm not saying that they're not alive. I'm saying that there's no way. Like, look at the actual submarine they went down in. Like, that's the. Like.
No, that's the search one. That's the search submarine.
The fact that they can't find
makes
it.
Me sick to my stomach.
What we know about the search for, we will definitely report back on this because I'm definitely gonna be watching.
Oh my gosh, this is history, mate. It's like hard to know that that's happening right now. Like, this is something people are going to talk about for 100 years,
probably
200 years. Like,
especially if they don't come back,
honey.
I mean, I'm just saying. I'm saying what you're saying. I'm saying what you're saying.
We just need to be praying over them and their families. Like, I know that always sounds so cliche to say, but truly, like, I can't even imagine the pain their families are feeling, the fear their families are feeling, and if they're alive, same to them. Like, this is so sad.
It is so sad. Yeah.
And I know sad stuff like this happens, not this specifically, but like this happens with families and stuff all the time, and it's not as publicized, which is a whole nother thing. So I don't know. I'm just like, there's just so much happening in the world, and it just I feel helpless.
Yeah. No, it's really, really sad. Hopefully they come back safely, and this will all be a mute point, and there's no creatures lurking at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean, and everybody's going to be good. So 70 hours is a lot of time. So I think a lot of time for them, because there's got to be a quadrant of, if they're in that area, they are. I believe that I have to believe that they're going to find them. So hopefully everything is good and okay.
Oh my gosh.
What else you got for us? Do you have any other news related things popping off? I think that's probably going to be the biggest thing that we're going to probably touch on for probably the next week, if I had to guess.
Yeah. I just have one more question.
Yeah.
If you're in this situation, you get lost and you get found, are you ever getting back in the ocean?
No. I mean,
ever getting on a boat, ever anything?
$250,000 on a ticket. I'm chasing something. That's a cheap thrill for $250,000. I'm like, to potentially die. Like, and I wonder what's the insurance look like? B, what does the sign off, what does the waiver look like?
I know.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I just can't even. I want to look. I'm gonna research the company more later today. So, because I'm just so curious. about some different things. But am I getting back in the ocean? No, that's first. I already don't get in the ocean as is. I'm not getting somewhere where something bigger than me can eat me.
Oh, honey.
Seriously. Like you saw the guy get attacked. Oh, we couldn't talk about this when it happened.
You'd be a yummy little appetizer.
Yeah, the guy in Egypt that was swimming. Like, I mean, he was probably swimming in what, 10 feet of water.
When did this happen?
This happened when we were back in Kansas, and the shark came up behind him. Bow! Hit him right here, and like people are like, oh, so he gets off, is swimming. There's a boat trying to get him. Somebody's filming from the shore. That's how close it was. Somebody gets out in a boat, tries to get to him. He's swimming away from it. At this point, you see the tail goes back underwater, comes back up. He's swimming this way, jumps back on him again, and pulls him down. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm chilling.
You just told that story really well.
Did I?
Yeah, I was locked in, and I'm like, I have just chills through my body with all of this.
Yeah, I'm like sharks and all that stuff. Like, yeah, they don't typically attack humans, but you're in
their habitat.
That's like being in a forest and a big bear up the thing. Like, now you can see it and you can maneuver. You have an opportunity to run away, but in the water, they are the fastest thing out there. You're not out swimming a shark.
Do you know what just came to my mind?
I know exactly what came to your mind. I don't think we've ever told that story.
I think we should tell that story.
You go for it.
Okay, so speaking of bears,
just tell it accurately.
In the woods,
tell it accurately.
Or in the forest. So it was our friend Sarah's 30th birthday, and she wanted to go hiking. Jackie and I are not big hikers.
I am.
You're a hiker?
Yeah. Do you know, I've told you we go to Konza Prairie every year after Thanksgiving, and we walk that 5-mile trail.
Honey Pop, you haven't been in the States in 10 years for Thanksgiving.
I know that, but I'm saying that was one of the things that we did. Like, we did hiking. I wasn't going to go hiking in anywhere in Europe or in Turkey. I should have, but it just didn't.
You kind of did in Bosnia for training camp.
I did in Bosnia and I did in Slovenia, but I enjoy being outside. Like, I love hiking.
Okay, so Jackie's a hiker.
Don't put anything on my name.
So Jackie's a hiker. I don't enjoy hiking. Okay, it's never
you
like
were not happy
growing
that
up
day
in Louisiana.
Going up the mountain.
Yeah, growing up in Louisiana, you don't hike.
Yeah.
Like, you walk to a deer stand, you walk to a duck blind.
Yeah. Y'all hang out in the swamps more. Like, y'all like airboat, whatever it's called.
We would go for a boat ride before we'd go for a hike.
Yeah.
There's nowhere to really hike. It's not like we have like mountains.
I was gonna say it's kind of pretty flat, honestly.
Yeah, we're below sea level.
Yeah.
It's pretty lit. But
it's lit.
I didn't grow up hiking is the point. And I'm not just like a big walk aimlessly type gal, but it was Sarah's 30th birthday and she loves to hike.
We were walking to a waterfall. You gotta tell them where we were at too.
I will. So we were in Chattanooga. Yeah.
We were in Gatlinburg.
Oh, really?
Yep, Smoky Mountains.
Okay, we were in Gatlinburg
because we were next to Dolly World, Dollyland.
Yeah, we were in the Smokies. It was honestly a beautiful Airbnb. So come to Sunday or whatever, and I'm like this whole time thinking we're just gonna sit out. Like, we didn't really bring the correct gear. We have nothing prepared. Jackie only brought Crocs, so I'm like, surely like he's gonna be with me on sitting this out. And he's like, Lace, it's Sarah's birthday, like we gotta go. And I'm like, she'll understand, like I'm not a hiker. And anyways, lo and behold, I got convinced. And on the way, they're like, oh, it's just a 3-mile thing, so on and so forth. I'm like, okay, I can do that. We're hiking to these waterfalls. It's always to a waterfall that never really meets the expectation, and that is a whole nother story in itself. But we get there, and they're like, actually, it's like 8 miles. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So whatever, suck it up. We're going. We get up to this boring waterfall. No offense, Sarah, love you, worth it. What?
Nothing, keep going.
And we're on our way back down, and like Jackie said, we're in the Smoky Mountains, and they are known for their bears. So we have our eyes like peeled all day. And
when we first get there, we park in one area, we walk, and so we're walking up, and we actually see the park ranger. The park ranger proceeds to tell it like something out of a Yogi the Bear comic cartoon. She's like, yeah, just keep your eyes peeled and keep your eyes up because these bears will sit up in the trees. And I'm like, okay, like I'm thinking this is a part of the bit. Like, okay, God, people come to the Smoky Mountains. You got to say, look out for the bears. Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
We are not going to run into a bear. There's no possible way. Like we're going to go up, come down, and we're going to have a great night. And then so
she was right. We're on our way back down, and we probably have like 1 mile left. Like we've been through it this day. Like I said, Jackie has Crocs on, and
I crushed that mountain in Crocs, by the way.
You did, good job. And there was a group of women, like I don't know yards. How many yards do you think away?
I mean, probably 100 yards.
100 yards away.
Football
and
field.
We're just, me and Jackie are, I don't know, probably 50 yards in front of Sarah and her boyfriend, because actually that was like the first month or two that they had started dating, so we were trying to give them like
Why
space to hang out.
Why don't you say Max's name?
Max, I said her boyfriend.
Oh, I thought you just said Sarah and her boyfriend. I was like, who?
Well, they don't know who Max is. I was trying to explain
Max,
her. It's her
Max,
boyfriend.
don't worry, I got you, Max.
Anyways, they had just started dating at the time, so we were trying to give them some space, and also I was just rushing to the car because I was so over it. Anyway, so they were a little bit behind us, and it was just me and Jackie. All of a sudden we like see these women stop and turn to us and start like yelling something. We're like, what are they talking about? And then we realize they're yelling like bear, bear, bear. And so in that moment, we don't even think to look for the bear. We don't know where the bear is at. We're just like, there's a bear. So I start running towards them. Jackie, and that's down the path. Jackie chooses to go left off of the path more into the woods. I'm still confused on your logic there.
So, all right, let me interject real quick. This is an intricate part. This is a very, very specific part of the story.
Well, please, by all means.
There's a lot of detail. So,
how am I doing so far?
You're doing good. You're doing good. You left one or two things out. You missed. I'm glad you mentioned the Crocs. But
yeah,
so
we'll never
the path goes straight, and there is a path that goes to the left.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So there was a path with some like that was like a little bit more like you could go this way, and there was still water to our left hand side. So all of a sudden we hear these words, bear, bear, and I'm like, and like Lisa, we're going what? And so my thinking is that they're in front of us. They're yelling bear, and out in the forest, like. I've only been super close to like non-violent animals, and typically like a white-tailed deer or something, you can see it. It's a little tricky, but with bears and just those other things, you would think that they would stick out like a sore thumb, and they are the more you get on top of them, they're just camouflage. Like they're absolutely camouflage, and you like it's easy to see why people can get attacked by a bear. And so in front of me,
don't try to preface
no, I
it
always know
because you almost got attacked.
No, I'm saying we couldn't see it. So in front of me, the people are saying, so my logic is if they're in front of me and they're yelling bear, if I go left, I should be okay because I'm going to walk away from it. So my thinking is that I'm going away from it. The bear's in front of me. I'm going to circle around, and Lacey walks forward. But I panic, and then you can pick up from that part.
So if he's like letting me walk forward, that's like, well, you walk to your own fate.
All of the movies, everything, people get attacked by bears. Like everything is running through my head. Like, yo, this bear's about to have my intestines laying out over Smoky Mountains right now. I am not trying to die in the Smoky Mountains.
So he runs left, I run forward, and the girls start screaming even more, like freaking out, and they're like. Basically, you're running right to it.
Literally.
And he looks up. There is a mama bear standing at the foot of a tree with her baby bear up in the tree. And
what would you say? I was 10 feet from it?
I mean, you were uncomfortably close. And so he starts running back the other way towards me, and he trips down the mountain in his Crocs.
Literally, ass over tea kettle, doom, 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 doom. And at this point, my heart is in my hand, and my heart is down by the ladies, down by the other thing. My pride is back there with the bear, and my body and soul at this point which has come back to my body, is in the middle of the path covered in dirt.
Yep. It was honestly hilarious and
you
scary.
You laughing a little too hard at this one.
It was hilarious and scary and amazing and incredible for me because it bought me probably a good 2 years of not having to hike.
Yeah.
We haven't hiked since.
We have not.
And that was a year ago. A little over a year ago.
Yeah, it was a little over a year ago. But yeah, we had a great weekend.
What were your takeaways? What lessons did you learn?
Honestly, that's a great, just maybe take one more second to view your surroundings.
I thought it was going to be don't wear Crocs in the forest.
Nah. The Crocs weren't the issue. Crocs weren't the reason why I tripped down the mountain. I went up the mountain and was fine. Coming down the mountain, I was fine. It was just the fact that I got so sped up. I was, that bear sped me up. And you always wonder what you will do in those types of situations. Like I've always thought about what would you do if you saw, if you're somewhere and you see a lion or a bear or anything was trying to a crocodile, like a shark.
I don't like to think about it.
How are you reacting? Well, I'm just like, how are you going to react? And, I was not happy with how I reacted with the bear one,
For sure.
So, that's what I took away from it. That, just, I gotta get more comfortable in.
Just take a deep breath and think.
Dramatic
first.
situation. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're here with us today.
I am too.
We got you a new pair of Crocs to make new memories in.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that.
No problem. Oh my gosh, it's been a great day of stories. Just kind of like just storytelling.
Yeah, it has been.
Yeah. It's kind of like just like a Tuesday thing.
Tuesday story time.
Speaking of Tuesdays,
mm-hmm.
we have our friends coming in this Tuesday.
We do have them coming in.
They are flying in a couple of hours, but before that,
from Dallas, Texas.
If you made it this far and you care about my music, today's an exciting day because I'm recording a song today.
That's what we love to hear.
I'm really excited about this song.
Yeah.
I wrote it while we were in Turkey and it's just a vibe. Like I couldn't stop thinking about it the last 6 months.
No, I wasn't trying to cut you off. I was about to gas you up real quick.
Please do.
I wanted to say that the people that, because I always see on the Instagram, they always ask about new music, and people know you as a musician. And I was talking to someone yesterday about you being a musician and the songs I've heard and like what you have. It's not easy. Like I always think about it in sports terms, which I'm sure can probably be annoying sometimes, but I always think about trying to transition from, let's say, being a point guard to being a 2 or 3 man, or trying to,
that's good.
Trying to transition yourself or stepping away from basketball and moving into a different field, right? That's not easy. So thinking about staying in your same profession or career and wanting to change the aspect of how you're looked or how you're perceived, I can 100% tell you that is not easy, because that's, certain things about my game, whatever, in Europe have never left me. And that's what they identify me as. We've had these conversations.
For sure.
Your music that you are creating, the world you are creating, the things you are creating, I think people are going to be, it gives me goosebumps. People are going to be very, very shocked by, in a very, very good way. I don't think that people expect it from you. In a way, like, yeah. I mean, the creative aspect of it, and I don't think that.
I was about to cry.
What I heard you take the deep breath. I heard you gasp. I heard you gasp a little bit.
I don't know why I get so sensitive with this.
Yeah, but you are. I think your life and the music you're creating is going to look very differently. A year from now, 2 years from now, I'm not gonna put a timetable on it, but I'm very excited, and you guys should be too. All of the people that have asked her on Instagram, trust me, there's new things on the way. There are things that I have heard. I am only a consumer. So from a consumer standpoint, I would like to think that I have decent taste in music.
You do have a good taste
I would like
in
to
music.
believe. So the things that you are going to hear from this woman to my left, pay attention to, listen to. I'm not only hyping up because she's my wife, but because I truly believe you are an amazing artist. And like I said, I wouldn't be saying this if I had not heard proof.
Thank you, baby.
Of what you have in store.
Thank you.
And it's not just one or two things. It's like what, 6, 7 different.
I have probably like 15 songs that started this new journey, but like I'd say probably like 5 that I really, really, really feel strongly about. But I'm kind of just waiting on the Lord on it because I don't know. I think I realize now how much more he wanted to develop me as a human being, in order to use my gift to the best of my ability. And I still am not sure that I'm quote unquote ready. I know people always say you're never ready, but for me, it's Holy Spirit timing. It's not like whether I know I'm never going to be fully ready. I know I'm never fully equipped without him, but that's why I want to do it on the timing that like he instructs me to do. And I'm not sure when that will be, but I do know the way that he speaks to me. And I know in the other areas of my life when he's given me the green light, like it was so clear and I felt it, so clearly, and I was so sure and so certain, and like he's done that for me on another career aspect recently and things like that. And so I'm just waiting, but I'm also sowing seeds. Like I'm not just sitting on my hands. And I think that when I'm not putting out music, people think that I'm not creating it. And although my creating it has slowed down, it's still happening, and I'm still like, I'm kind of re-falling in love with it, like with the process of it. And it's really nice because for a long time, like it was a really triggering process for me. Yeah. And I just feel like he's healed me so much in so many areas, in order to be able to like love it again and to feel inspired by it again. I don't know why it makes me cry, but I just have to like.
It's a lot of things attached to it.
Yeah, but I was even thinking when we sat down to do this morning, even if we've had kind of a rough start to the morning, which like it wasn't that bad. It was just we had cross wires and or I'm tired or I'm whatever. Once we start speaking to one another and doing this, like I'm always just so happy doing it, and I feel just so at peace and aligned and like just happy to be here and happy to be doing this. And that feeling is so special because there were so many moments towards the end of like my last chapter of music where I was like doing it, but I was feeling so many other things that I felt like so disconnected from the point of just being able to enjoy what I was doing. And that is something that I look forward to having again, and just feeling like so eager to sit down and just sing and just write. And I feel like I'm inching closer to that. And honestly, this has helped.
Yeah. No, I am. How do you feel like it's helped? Sorry.
No, you're good. I mean, in a weird way, just having my voice on a mic. Yeah. Because before this, it was solely to sing. So if I was speaking into a mic, it was like on a stage in front of people. And I feel like even my years touring and stuff feel like a whole nother life ago. And when I'm like just living my daily life, it's hard for me to tap into who I was or like what I've done or whatever. And for some reason, like this like unlocks that part of my memory bank.
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. Yeah, it's just it always does shock me too. I want to say one thing. I was having this thought. It always shocks me when people are like, "Do you still do music?" And you haven't put out music, whatever. It's like, okay, like I said, I think about everything in sports terms and in terminologies. If I say I play basketball and you don't see me work out all summer, does that mean that I wasn't in the gym? Does that mean that I won't step on the court and get to work? No, that's not what that means at all. It means that I'm taking time to refine myself. And I think we live in that social media we do live in that social media generation of, well, if I don't see it, then it can't be true. And it, and people want to question things and talk down on things. And, like I said, at the end of the day, that is what it is, as long as, we've had those conversations of just almost looking past that, so.
Yeah. And our lives are not theirs. They're God's. Like, our lives are God's. Our life is an assignment for him in the kingdom. So like, I can't operate on their timeline of when they want music from me, when they need it, when they think my career should happen, when the world says that I'm ready. Like, I can't operate that way. I've tried. And all it left me with was years of striving and pain that I'm like healing from now. And we're not always going to get the timing right. We're never going to get all of it right. Like, that's just a part of being human. But I feel like I had to readjust in the sense of with my heart and just be like, I'll sow these seeds and see what grows fruit and what doesn't. And like, if it's right with the Lord, then it's great for me. And that has to be my motivation. Like, my motivation can't be, well, I want it now. Yeah. Well, people want this from me. They're putting pressure on me. They have expectations of me. It's like, it can't be that way. Like, I have to only be concerned with what the Lord wants of me. Yep. And that is a hard like shift to make in your life, because literally everything has to look differently. Your decision making has to completely make a 180, and that's really, really hard to do, but it's the best thing you could ever do. It's hard in the sense of like having to say no, having to make different choices, but it's not hard in the sense of like wanting to do that for God. Yep. That's the part that makes it worth it. It's just knowing that you're actually doing life with him and not on your own or not for other people.
I'm really excited for you.
Yeah, me too.
I am. I'm really excited for you.
I'm just excited for whatever it is that he has. And I know that's so vague, but like, seriously, I don't know. Like, and that's
nobody knows. But I'm saying, like, nobody has, there's only one person that has the answers to everything.
Yeah.
And we know that guy. We know him. But at the end of the day, I think we've both have learned just to lean more into that, and just that part of life and where we're at right now in that journey. And I think that, like I said, watching you go through this part of it and watching you excel, I just get the most joy from.
Yeah. You too, babe.
Thank you.
I feel like we've both made a lot of growth.
Yeah.
This podcast, just even for us and our family, it's going to be so cool to look back on one day and just...
Hey, my dad, what were you talking about?
I'm definitely going to feel that way about myself.
What were you talking about? And what was I just watching where I was thinking that exact same thing? I literally feel like I was watching something. I can't remember what it was, but it was somebody was working on something or had designed something or had created something, and they went back in time. Like, they showed old clips of it, and then I wish I could remember what it was. They showed old clips, and then they showed where that person was at now, and it was just it was just, you could instantaneously see that they had, just because they had done it so routine and for so long, that each time, I like to believe that each time we do this podcast, we get better.
I do too.
And I would like to believe that in the next 6 months that this podcast is going to look completely different. I'm willing to bet that, so just in the way of how it sounds, the format of it, those things have to change in order for you to become better. You can't believe that you've already arrived, because nobody's arrived. There's still growth. There's still things you have to learn. Especially
the one thing I hope that doesn't change is the jerseys.
It will definitely. the jerseys would. I saw the Barcelona jersey the other day, and I just said, the past 3-4 days I've worn it, and today I was like, you know what? I haven't. We were talking about wearing our things yesterday, and I said, you know what? I haven't wore this yet. I haven't busted this. I don't think anybody's seen this.
I love that though. Like, love the just wear your clothes.
Yeah. And like I
That's
always.
like
I'm sorry.
My TJ Maxx button up. I don't
I
know
love
why
it.
I've been thinking about it the last 2 days. I look like, what's that movie where they slide in the room?
Not Ferris Bueller's Day Off. No, you're talking about the movie with Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
What is that movie with Tom Cruise?
I just look like that scene, but who
Where he
cares?
has
Like,
the
I
glasses
wanted,
on and slides through the house. Yeah.
I wanted to wear it.
You look great.
Thank you. You do too.
Yeah, I love it. You're very on like a very type of like Cindy Crawford type vibe.
Yeah.
Like Cindy
Model
Crawford.
off duty.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like she might have some blue jeans on, wide leg blue jeans.
Yep.
Something underneath.
I know this with blue jeans is just classic. I'll probably put that on before I go to my session.
His husband's white shirt, and then she'll like let her hair down or makes her hair up in a messy bun. I don't know.
You love it. All right. Well, we have groceries being delivered for our guests getting here later today, and I need to go vocal warm up and get ready for my session.
Yep, go do your thing, baby.
But we love y'all.
Love you guys.
Great epi today, baby.
Yeah, sorry we got off to a slow start, people. We were still.
I didn't think we did. I was talking about valuable things. Whatever.
I'm just saying in general. I'm speaking from my side. I'm nothing to do with you, baby. You did a great job. Happy
Tuesday. Thank you for listening. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok. I'm such a slacker on TikTok.
Ooh.
YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, all the things. We love y'all and are just so grateful for the community that we're building through this podcast. And we're not gonna stop. I'm just made me think about this home video of me at 5 years old. I go, never stop, never stop.
And you know where mine went? Can't stop, won't stop. Can't stop. What is that? Can't stop, won't stop, never stop. Hey, can't stop, won't stop,
never stop.
Hey, can't stop, won't stop, never stop. Hey, can't stop, won't stop, never stop. Hey, but I'm gonna stop. Hey, bye.